embarrassing. Okay. Oh, jeez. Come on, one more. Oh, another one. How frustrating is the top, particularly with your fairway wood and your hybrids? Well, in this week's training, we're going to cover exactly how you start to sort out those fairway woods and hybrids so you can stop topping them. So you've experienced that, haven't you? The ball flying along the ground, it's so frustrating. That's the top shot. What's actually happening? Well, in this week's training, I'm going to go through exactly what's happening at impact to cause the top, the most common factors that actually lead to the top, and I'm going to give you 3 simple exercises that you can use to kind of get rid of it, hopefully for good. Now, before we do that, if this is one of your first videos of mine, consider subscribing. I release videos just like this one every week to try and help you improve your game. You press that little bell button, you'll receive videos like this in your inbox every week. So now, what is a top? Well, we've just seen it. It's a ball that goes along the ground, but what's actually happening? Well, quite simply, the ball is hitting no part of the center of the face. It's hitting right down at the bottom of the golf club. So what's happening is the club is coming into impact here and is starting to come up and hit the bottom part of the golf club. The loft is moving away from the golf ball and we're simply hitting the leading edge of the fairway wood itself. Now, for those of you who don't have loads of time to practice, one of the simplest things I can give you to kind of get rid of that is an exercise that I actually give my wife who's just started playing. Get yourself some foot spray, spray it on the face like this, and I believe that sometimes thinking of all swing positions and stuff can be very, very complicated. Look, if you're hitting the bottom part of the club, don't try and hit the top part. So give yourself a challenge. So all I'm going to do now is this. If I want to hit closer to the top part as opposed to the bottom part, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to naturally lean the face more. Now, people who are struggling to get the ball up in the air, that can feel a little bit strange because the ball's going along the ground. Why would I de-loft it? But you're not really de-lofting it. Remember, you're hitting the leading edge. You're actually showing the loft to the ball. So by just putting this foot spray on there, it gives you a target. So if I kind of hit a top shot, there will be literally, so it's a pure top there, hit right at the top of the ball, and look at this. Absolutely no mark at all on the actual golf club. If I move back now, and now let's try to hit a shot when I go, come on, let's lean that face in. Let's see if I can make a mark now on this face. Let's have a look. Much better. Now look, a little bit on the toe, but you can see much higher in the face of the golf club, yeah? So that immediately gives me more loft. So exercise number 1, really, really simple. Just put some foot spray on and see if you can start to hit the face of the golf club. And let your body cleverly, because it's your body's a genius, work out how to do that. It stops the swing thoughts, but let's now move on to number 2, which is one of the main causes of a top. So we said, look, one of the main reasons, or how do you actually strike a golf ball to get a pure strike, you've got to get that face on the ball. That means the handle is naturally more ahead. When you're coming into impact, there's more weight on the left side. You're driving through, the body's more over the golf ball. With a top shot, it tends to be a lot more like this. Now, that's great, but that's very complicated. You can't think of all those things and how to cure all things in 1.5 seconds, which is the time it takes to swing a golf club. So I've given you one exercise, which is the powder. Just have some fun trying to hit the face. The next thing is I basically see people who top the ball, they just don't have any rotation through the impact area. So what they end up doing is when they're coming through, they end up like this. They stand up here and they're leaning back and they are flicking. And the main reason for this is the club is coming down very steeply, as opposed to, watch this, and the hitting position is here as opposed to here. So when you're coming down, the hitting position should be here because we want to rotate and almost what I call it catapult or sling the club through impact in a rotational fashion, like as if you were throwing a ball. But those people who top don't, they come down in a hitting position that's here. They then come down to the ground. The body goes, I don't want to hurt myself. So stands up now like this, leans back and creates a flicking motion that looks a little bit like this, with a standing up and flicking. They hit a lot of top shots. So we need to improve your level of rotation through impact. And the simplest way of doing this is just through feeling. So you get yourself set, you swing, make a nice turn, and I want you to imagine now, just get to about here, just feel like the club is behind you a bit, and now from here you get the feeling of, okay, is that powerful to sling the club around? Sling it from here, imagine slinging it around this way, so suddenly now the club's coming more on an arc. Let's have a look at this in action. So I'm getting the feeling of, from here, slinging it around the corner, back, sling it around the corner. Completely different. I'm bruising the ground, I'm brushing the ground all the way through, and I'm starting to hit the center of the face. Now, do it slowly first. This is the hitting position we don't want because that gets this motion. Just keep feeling, oh, I've got to be roughly about here. Maybe do it slowly to start off with, just to get a feel for it. So you swing it back, swing to here, and then go right. Practice. There we go, slinging it. And when I'm doing that, I'm getting this motion. So suddenly now, because I'm rotating, I can stay low to the ground. I don't stand up because I'm creating room with rotation, not creating room with standing up. But the third and final point, all that's well and good, but there's one thing that does stop that happening. And it was the major reason why my latest client could not stop his tops, and that's alignment. So many people who top the ball aim for right-handers to the right of their target. Now, if you aim to the right of your target like this, there's no way you're going to rotate. Your body is a genius. It will find its best route to the target. If I'm exaggerating here, obviously, but if you aim to the right, you're going to pick the club up here, and it's far easier now just to pick it up and chop it down, and chop it down. That hitting position is always going to be very steep, and you're going to come down and flick the ball, or you're going to do this. You're going to come up, you're going to lean back now again, same principle, creating this flicking action. There's no way of getting rotation because if you did get into the correct hitting position, you would smash it right. And your body won't allow that. It's clever, it knows that it's wrong. So you must learn to get a decent alignment. For those of you who are still not sure about alignment, there are two lines you want to look at. Your target line, which is here, this line here, like an outside rail of a train track, pointing directly down your target line. Your foot line is parallel, left of that. That is your inside rail. And then all we're doing is this, is the best way I line up is I get myself set, I get a feel of the club face here, I'm looking down the target line here, just get comfortable, and away we go. For those of you who've been aiming right, that might feel like you're aiming a little bit left of target. Don't worry, but now you've got the space look to rotate as opposed to needing to create space by standing up. That's the two fundamental things I think are the major cause of top shots. So, hope that really helps you. Let's summarize for a second. What have we said? Well, nice and easy sometimes, just trust your body. Get some foot spray, spray it on the club here, have a game, just see if you can hit higher in the face. You hit high in the face, you'll simply get more loft. You want to get more power with this and get the ball up in the air to hit it further, you're going to need rotation. You want to start to work on a hitting position that's here, not here. Hitting here will give you more rotation. It helps to keep this beautiful angle here, as opposed to when it's here, you always tend to lose the angle because it turns into a flick. And finally, watch that alignment. None of this is impossible if you're aiming right of target. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please share it with some of your friends who you know could need some help with their tops and their thin shots with their fairwoods and their hybrids. But of course, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, come and subscribe to us so I can give you some more videos next week. Until next week, have a great golfing week.